You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
Hello, pet parents. This is Michelle Fern, host of Best Bets for Pets. I have a great show, and this is for mostly all the dog pet parents out there. And yep, we're talking again about poop. You're not going to believe this product. It's amazing for all the dog lovers. We'll be right back.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
I'm not much of a reader, but I do wish I were more well-read.
There are so many great books coming out. I wish I could find a way to keep up. Audible.com makes it easy to stay well-informed and catch up on your reading simply by listening. Audiobooks from Audible turn downtime into uptime. You'll be more productive and become well-read.
Now I'm able to catch up on all the great books I've been wanting to read.
With Audible, I feel smarter.
Pet Life Radio listeners, try Audible.com now and get your first 30 days of Audible Listener Gold membership plan free. And get a free audiobook. Choose from over 100,000 titles. To get this great deal, go to audibledeals.com. That's audibledeals.com.
Let's talk pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I would like to introduce Tom Zurn. He is the creator and inventor of PooBagger. Welcome, Tom.
Hi, Michelle. Thank you for having me on your show, Best Pets.
Thank you so much for being here. Now, we've been talking a lot about poop lately. I think it's my dog's resolution to be a more responsible dog and make sure all his poop is picked up. And you have a really interesting product, PooBagger. And everybody that's listening is probably saying, what's PooBagger? So can you describe what it looks like for everybody?
Sure. Well, basically what it is it's a device where you snap a bag to it. It's made of composite plastic, but you snap a bag to it and pick up the pet waste, and it goes directly into the attached bag. You then just unsnap the bag into the trash, and it uses any plastic bag that you have, including all newspaper bags, bread bags, and any common poo bags that are available off the shelf.
That's such a great idea. Now, what made you think about inventing PooBagger?
Well, I was actually in my backyard picking up after my partner, Wilson, my dog, who's my partner, and I think I just rather stumbled on it. Well, maybe I stepped in a better way to clean up the poop. And I thought, well, it all has to end up in a plastic bag. I mean, no matter what you do, it has to end up in a plastic bag if you're not going to throw it out in the woods. You can't do that in suburban areas. It's just not done. So I decided that there must be a way to put it directly into the plastic bag, and you won't have to touch it. Just unsnap the bag right into the trash.
Your device has, a long handle. Then at the end, there's the device where the plastic bag is attached by a ring that easily opens. And it has a little, rake piece at the end. So for everybody, for everybody that's listening. And I tested it in taking my dog crew for a short walk with 2 of them. So I could hold it under my arm. It wasn't a big problem to do that.
Right, it's about 1.5 pounds, and you have the option to use the 24-inch handle extension or not, because it has a nice foam handle on the unit itself, and I put the screw-in extension with the product so that for better ergonomics. That's
a good idea, too, because in my haste, I had the long extension on, and I thought this would also be great if it was a little smaller. And yes, I didn't read the directions super well. It can be used smaller because some people would just rather take it with them and scoop it up. Now, is there a way you can attach the device to a leash?
Attach the device to a leash, that hadn't occurred to me, but, actually it's built for, typically for cleaning up your yard and not carrying it with you as you walk your dog. I have all kinds of customers that say, I'm take it with me, and it's really becoming popular. I'm here in Minnesota, and it's selling very well up here. And that's exciting because we still have 3 foot of snow on the ground out here. And they're still buying this thing up and saying it's just going to be really the new thing.
I think it's a great idea because what deters a lot of people from picking up after their dog, even though they should, and usually if, you don't have a yard, you usually walk them. Most people have a short walk, like early in the morning, then they might do a longer walk later. And especially for, the short walk, if they're even in, a high rise or a big city where they need to use an elevator, go down, something like that, most people can carry something or carry the bags. But what deters most people from picking up is they just don't want to touch it, even if it's within the bag. They just don't want to touch it, even though they're not going to touch the poop. They have the bag. So this is just a great idea to just be able to scoop it up, snap it, and you're done.
Yes. I've never met someone who likes to pick up a squishy poo bag.
No, I don't think so.
And really, it's a very nice product. It is.
Now, I just thought of something. This is something you could also use for a cat's litter box.
Well, that's true. I have friends that do use it for the litter box, and I'm actually coming out with a cat PooBagger. If you go on the website, in the About page, there's one in CAD programming right now that I had special requests for a cat PooBagger, and that's in the making right now, but I've got to keep myself going on this project. It's taking a lot of my time, so that the cat PooBagger is on the way.
That would be a good idea, too, because, everybody's used to, with the cat litter, they have the little rake, but you still have to dump it into the bag, and it's messy, and the litter, some litter is more, has more of that ashy, powdery stuff that gets all over the place. So even if it's outside, it's better to minimize that powdery stuff. So I just thought it would be a great idea. Now, do you have different sizes of the PooBagger for bigger dogs?
Well, I actually, when I designed it, I thought about making a smaller one and a bigger one. But then I got into, the people said, it's not too big for my small dogs, and it's not too small for my big dogs. So at this point, I only have this one size. But for a minute, I thought of something that you were just talking about. I have neighbors that use this device for picking up goose poop. We have a lot of geese up here, so they use it. Both my neighbors have them to pick up the goose poop in their yard.
Wow, that's interesting. I guess you could probably use it for any kind of poop. I mean, I don't know if a zoo would use it. I don't know. Some poop for animals might be huge, but probably for horses it would be okay.
Well, maybe a larger version for that task.
Possibly. Now, I also want to mention, if you happen to have poop, if you're walking your dog and you happen to have poop that's a little bit messy, it really cleans up very easily, too.
Right, and that is true. You can, I wouldn't say you'd want to put it in your dishwasher because I don't want to go there. But when I designed it with teeth to go into the grass to better pick up what we'll call soft waste. And I contoured the edges so you can better get down into the grass as well. So it's been a very well thought out product.
I think it's a great idea. It's light enough and easy enough to take on a walk. It's great for cleaning up the poop in your yard, and not having to touch it makes a big difference. Now, everybody listening is probably saying, where can I find this? So, Tom, where can we find the PooBagger?
Well, you can find it at many stores. I'm in stores from Florida all the way to Portland, but you can also, they're available on my website at PooBagger.com, POOBAGGER.com. And if your local store doesn't have it, then please do ask for it. And hopefully in time they'll start selling them too.
People can also get it at your website, order the PooBagger right from your website, right? Okay.
Yes, absolutely, on my website. And sort of in that same vein, I'd like to, if I could, offer a coupon code to any listeners that would be interested in the Best Bets coupon code that I'd like to put out there for on checkout on the website. Just enter Best Bets, and that'll get you 20% off the product right now. And the prices, I should say, on the website all include shipping. So shipping prices are included. But if you use the coupon code Best Bets, you can get a 20% off the price.
Great. Thank you, Tom. Again, listeners, that's Best Bets, BESTBETS, That will be the coupon code. We'll also have it on this segment of the episode, so it'll also be at PetLifeRadio.com. Go to Best Bets for Pets, and it'll be on this segment for the episode, so you'll be able to see the coupon code as well. And it's for a limited time, so please hurry and take advantage of this. This is a great product. It will make your life easier and less, I guess, nasty from dealing with poop close up in your hands, you know. Now, Tom, I've used other kind of, poop scooper kind of things before. What's unique about the PooBagger?
Well, what's unique about the PooBagger is it has no moving parts, so there's nothing to break and nothing to really get dirty. But what I think is the most unique about this product that distinguishes it from others is that there are units out there that you attach a bag to and pick up the pet waste, but those require the plastic grocery bags with the handles. They require that type of bag. And in many states, especially in California and entire states, Hawaii and soon to be California, they're no longer allowed to use those bags at all. But this unit uses any bag, any plastic bag that you have, newspaper bags, bread bags, and any common poo bags. And on my website, or I should say on the flyer that comes with the product, I say you can buy bags from me, and in fact it does come with 40 bags, but don't buy bags from me. Use what you have first. I have bags on the website, but I would prefer that people use the bags that are already out there, because we don't need more bags in our landfills, and that's what we're about, you know.
That's a great idea, because there's also bags that are recyclable and the type of bags that you could put right in the toilet and dispose of them, which is a really good idea for people that are in the city that have to go up to their high-rise and there's not really a place to toss poop.
Right.
You know, so that's a
great
idea.
There's also comparable units that actually use proprietary bags that, can only use the bags that they sell. And I don't believe that I would buy a unit that had proprietary bags, and I would not make one and sell one that made you buy their bags, because, like I said, I would not buy one that required me to buy their bags. And this will use any bag, and that's what I designed it around.
Tom, thank you so much for coming on Best Bets for Pets and telling my listeners all about your great product, the PooBagger. Listeners, you can go to PooBagger.com, and we have a special coupon code. It's for a limited time, so hurry up and get your PooBagger. Just enter the code BESTBETS. That's Best Bets with an S at the end, and you'll receive 20% off. How great is that? There will also be information on this segment of the episode on PetLifeRadio.com under the Best Bets for Pets tab. In case you are listening in your car or one of our live stream places like iHeartRadio, and you just can't remember what the code is, so you can also find it there. Again, thank you, Tom, so much for coming on Best Bets for Pets.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for having me on your show. I appreciate it.
Tom, thank you so much for coming on Best Bets for Pets. I would like to thank my crew. Nikki and Mr. Z really helped in using the PooBagger several times, and they were so happy they were able to be responsible doggies. I'd also like to thank my producer, Mark Winter, for making me and my guest sound great. And, of course, my guest, Tom Zurn. And especially all my listeners out there for listening. I so appreciate it. Please stay tuned for another great show.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
Every pet is unique. Maybe they're gray in the muzzle, yet young at heart. Maybe they're growing out of the puppy stage and into their paws and ears. Or maybe they're just trying to maintain a more girlish figure. At PetSmart, we have the right food for your pet at a great value for you. PetSmart. Be better together.
Go to PetSmartDeal.com and save up to 30% on awesome gifts for the pets and pet people in your life. Toys, collars, leashes, PetSmart gift cards, treats, and more. Go to PetSmartDeal.com today. PetSmartDeal.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robin Gansert, President and CEO of American Humane Association, the country's first national humane organization. Here to tell you about our new show, Be Humane, on Pet Life Radio. Each week, we'll be bringing you the latest news and issues affecting our animal friends, and we'll also be bringing you interviews with Hollywood's biggest animal advocates, here to share tales about their pets and what they're doing to promote a more humane world. Our own highly experienced staff and friends of the organization will also join us each week to share what they're up to in the animal world. I hope you'll stop by. Until then, let's always remember to be humane.
Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. Today is all about travel. It's coming up, spring break, summer will be here soon, and of course, we like to take our fur babies, but it's difficult to take all their things with you, you know? I'd like to introduce Luke Boldman. He is the design lead and product line manager at Mountainsmith. Welcome, Luke.
Thanks, Michelle. It's good to have me on the show. I appreciate it. I'm getting excited to talk about the dog products.
Well, we're excited to have you. You have created some great products. Now, we had the chance to sample the Canine Cube. First of all, let's tell our listeners, what is Mountainsmith? What do they do?
Well, Mountainsmith is a outdoor kind of camping and outdoor lifestyle brand. We're located in Golden, Colorado. That's just outside of Denver on the foothills of the Rocky Mountains. So great location for designing and enjoying outdoor products for sure. We've got a host of backpacks, luggage, camera packs, tents, sleeping bags, as well as our dog packs and dog accessories. And we've been doing dog products for the better part of 30 years now.
Wow. But the Canine Cube, is that something fairly new?
It is fairly new. We've had a few different versions over the last, I'd say, 5 years or 4 years. It is a newer product for us. Historically, we've been very active in dog packs, pannier-style compartments. And then we started branching out recently in the 2000s with a kind of a more robust offering. So the Canine Cube, we have a canine bed, we have a packable canine back bowl that we call for food and water when you're out hitting the trail with your dog. So, we'd like to, it's a lot of fun to design these products. And that's not just about dog packs.
Now, what I like about the canine pack is when you are traveling with your fur babies, some people try to wing it with Ziplocs, whatever. It's really hard for dogs when you have to, for water, what kind of container. Some dogs won't go near a cup. Some dogs have too large of a snout to even drink from a cup.
Sure.
And so it's always what to do. Pouring into your hand can kind of work, but not really. Your hand's not a vessel. So what's great about the Canine Cube is everything's very foldable, but then it opens up and you have a little bowl, a bowl for the food, one for the water. There's even a cooler section to keep the water cool, or if you have canned food, to keep that cool. It's really innovative. Do you have dogs?
Well, I have 2 dogs and myself. And in our office, we have anywhere between 3 and 4 dogs on a daily basis. So they're always in and amongst our offices and underfoot for sure. They're our product testers.
I was thinking somebody with a dog must have created this because it's designed with the dog in mind, which is great. Now, how did the idea for the Canine Cube come about?
Well, first, I just want to mention that this opportunity to have this conversation with you is very prudent because I actually am going out of town this weekend, and a buddy of mine is watching our 2 dogs, and I packed the Canine Cube that I own personally for our getaway because he's going to watch the dogs, and all their food and toys and leashes and harnesses are all packed up in there. We found a need that people like to travel, obviously with their pets and children and whatnot, and why just use a plastic grocery bag to haul all the dog's toys and leashes and all that and food? It needs to be a better system. So we have a travel storage category, which is basically kind of a bag system that you can place in the back of your station wagon or SUV or trunk of your car that organizes all of your gear. And the Canine Cube is kind of a component, a modular component of that overall system, but specifically designed for pet carry.
It's great. It's very handy. And I really like the idea of having a separate bag for all your dog's toys and whatnot because, one, It has their germs and slobber on the toys unless you clean them regularly, and they don't always like that. You can't really clean, if it's a certain kind of bone, you can't really clean it. And sometimes, with the leashes and everything, it's just nice to have everything in one place. Should you have to just grab something on the go, it's all set, it's all there.
Especially if you have 2 or more dogs, it's much more convenient to keep it all in one location. You're not scrambling around looking for the various leashes and whatnot. We've designed this thing fairly decently and have really had some good organization in there. And we're all dog owners at Mountainsmith, so each and every one of us uses this product, and it just gets better and better as we kind of revise and update it season after season.
Now, what kind of thought went into, there are 2 foldable bowls, one you can use for water, one you can use for food. What was the thought behind creating those bowls?
Well, the great thing is the overall form factor, if you will, of the Canine Cube needs to fit into this modular hauler system I referenced earlier. So we had a set dimension of this basically kind of a tote cube-shaped bag. And we wanted to be able to carry some sort of food and water bowl or vessel in there, but, having a kind of an injection-molded thermoplastic dog bowl or something like that, or an aluminum dog bowl would just be too cumbersome. So we decided, let's create like a zippered kind of tray that can open up, and inside will be these foldable, soft-sided dog bowls, one for water and one for food. And they are seam taped so they're waterproof, so nothing's going to leak out of them. And they can fold away and zip back up into their pockets, so for very streamlined carry in the back of your car.
It's just so cool for everybody listening. Like you said, it zips open. There's a little tray. You open the bowl, it's like a collapsible, foldable bowl, if you will. Everyone listening to get an idea. And there's 2 that are the same. So one you could designate food, one water, of course. And it's like they have their own special placemat on their eating area, which a lot of dogs have at home. And just so easy. I mean, you could feed them and water in the car with that. The mess will be right there.
It's like a tailgate solution for your pets, ultimately. Kind of like a little bartending station, The dog bowls, they're both the same, as you mentioned. The food and the water bowl is the same. And they're both lined with a material called PEVA, which is much safer and not toxic like maybe an earlier version that would have PVC. So it's pet-friendly, it's non-toxic, it's easily cleaned and washable and waterproof. So you don't need to always designate one bowl to be just food or the other one to be the water. You can interchange them.
That's a great idea. Now, I know some of the people listening probably say, yeah, my dog would probably chew something like that. But they're very well made. Have you had any dogs try to chew them?
Anytime a dog is chewing something they shouldn't, it's always best to distract them with another toy, right? Yeah, I have no guarantees about chewing up the dog bowls. Hopefully they don't taste very good.
True. Very, very unlikely. Do you have, for the Canine Cube, say if the bowls were destroyed or you lost or something like that, do you have replacements available?
That's a very good question. Glad you asked. If a customer has that issue and they can go to our website and find our customer service number and they can call in, and we do have reserved quantities of the dog bowls and the water and food bowl, so we can always send that back out so you're not completely dead in the water here.
Now, we say Canine Cube, but this can be used for felines too, right?
Oh, absolutely. In our line of dog products, we kind of gravitated towards canine, mainly because we started out making dog packs, and I don't think cats like to carry packs very well. They're not very privy to that situation. So we've kind of just continued the whole canine name into the rest of the product line. But certainly it's feline friendly, it's guinea pig friendly, it's ferret friendly. Whatever pet you have that you like to travel with or need to board over the weekend, whether at the kennel or the boarding house or some friends, like this Canine Cube will carry all of your pet's toys, food, and gear.
I love that idea. Somebody watching your dog and here's their little backpack of goodies to just take care of them. It's just adorable, and it's also very, important and necessary, because dogs always feel much better when they have their things with them. They know if it's their stuff or not.
That's a great comment, Michelle, because I mentioned earlier that I packed up our Canine Cube for my 2 dogs and brought it into the office. And one of our dogs, a 2-year-old border collie, she was guarding the Canine Cube because all of her food and toys were in it, so she would not let the other dogs get to it. So they know where their gear is, and they know which bag is theirs, and they know something fun's coming up for the weekend,
That's adorable. Now, do you have different sizes of the Canine Cube for little dogs or dogs that are very, very large, or is that even needed?
Good question. This is a one-size product, but for various size dogs, For dog packs, certainly we have a range of sizes, but the Canine Cube is basically kind of like carry-on luggage if you're going off for an overnight flight. So one size fits all.
And I actually had a little tiny puppy who is 3 pounds, drink out of the bowl, no problem, as well as a 60-pound dog. So, and I imagine larger. It's meant to be something temporary for them to use for food and water. It's not something to use for a long term. And also, most any size dog, their treats and leashes and toys will fit, of course.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I did want to mention on the inside of the main compartment of the Canine Cube is a separate carrier. It's also lined so they can be easily washed and cleaned. But it is a small carrier to hold the pet's food for the weekend. Usually maybe up to 3 to 4 days. If you're going to be traveling away and you drop the dog off at the kennel, you can have at least 3 to 4 days of food in there, depending on the dog's size. And, a much smaller dog, you can have a week's worth. I myself, just for reference, this weekend will be going away for 3 days, and I have 2 dogs. They're both around 50, 60 pounds, and if you fill this container up, it's about 30 cups of food, so that's well enough for 3 days travel.
And the pack is very durable. I mean, I've had Mountainsmith products in the past, and they really take a beating. You're biased, and you're the product designer, but it's really well made. So what are your thoughts? How do you guys test that?
I appreciate the comment there. We certainly like to stand behind our product and design it to be the most durable that we can for the intended use. So this bag is actually a ripstop material, which is always very outdoor friendly, very travel friendly. You can knock it around the back of the car and throw it on the ground, throw it in the closet, what have you. For actual product testing, it's a good question you raise. Most of our products, especially ones that carry things, we are fortunate to have our office next to some trails around here in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, and we usually load up all of our products with 30, 40, 50 pounds, something kind of excessive actually. Fill up the Canine Cube, in this case, with a lot of weight, and we like to chuck it off of a cliff and see what breaks. And if a seam pops or a zipper fails, something like that, we like to go back and revisit how we can improve that. More often than not, they just kind of get a little dirty and scratched up, and they're on your way.
That's funny. So I guess for entertainment, you have a product testing hour and you go out back to your cliffs, and I've been to Colorado, it's gorgeous. So you fill up the bags with whatever it is and just toss them?
We just toss them off. That's a great way to spend the lunch hour, if you can imagine.
That seems like it could be kind of fun, 1. And 2, way to get out aggression. You're having a bad day or something happen, just fling it. But it's a great way to test because most people are not going to do that.
Correct. So. Most people will not. But if you're having a picnic a little bit too close to the cliff, maybe in the Grand Canyon, I think this thing will stand up.
That's a good idea. Let's hope not, because then your dog will probably want to go get his stuff. So not good. Where can our listeners find Mountainsmith products?
Well, a host of outdoor and specialty retail shops, as well as some big box sporting goods stores. Our number one carriers for the Canine Cube would be REI and for kind of brick and mortar shops, and also their online presence, but also Amazon.com is a very big resource for our dog products. Anyone around the country can order from either one of those locations.
And we'll, of course, have information of this episode on the website as well for Best Bets for Pets. So there'll be a link to the website of Mountainsmith. So listeners, if you can't locate it any place and you're in another part of the world, you can always connect with Mountainsmith and see how you can get a Canine Cube.
That's right, Michelle. I'd like to direct your listeners to Mountainsmith.com, where all of our products are listed, and there is a dealer locator there. So you just type in your zip code, and you can find out the local retailer that will carry this product.
Okay, is there anything else that you want to add?
Well, for someone that needs to visualize what this product is about, it's about a 15-inch tall by 15-inch wide by 7.5 inches deep kind of cube or tote bag with a padded handle and also a padded shoulder strap that's removable. And then it has 2 food and water bowls that we mentioned on a zippered sleeve panel that's kind of what I call the tailgating solution. And on the inside of the bag is a divider so you can keep toys, whether they're clean or dirty, leashes and harnesses and whatnot. We have a canine bed, which is a separate product that actually has a stuff sack, much like a sleeping bag would, and that is also designed to fit into the Canine Cube. And that is a product that's sold separately. And then the last kind of good feature about the Canine Cube itself is that removable food storage tube, which is easily cleaned out, and it's zippered and holds, like I said, about 30 cups, about 7 liters of food.
It's a great product.
Thank you very much. But like I said, everyone at Mountainsmith, this is probably one of the few products that every one of the employees at Mountainsmith owns collectively.
I could
That's
see why.
saying a lot. Yeah.
I can see why. I mean, it's just effective and efficient, and I'm sure when you do the plastic bags or whatever thing and you lose stuff, the Canine Cube more than pays for itself, because I've lost leashes and toys and all kinds of things get left behind or dropped or something. So it's a great solution to what to do when you're traveling with your pet.
And what I found, and we mentioned it earlier, it's really, in the outdoor world, you might have your favorite backpack or sleeping bag or go-to pair of hiking boots, anything like of that nature. And I've found that my dogs love their Canine Cube. They gravitate towards it. They protect it, and they know that they're in store for a good travel weekend for sure.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for coming on Best Bets for Pets and telling my listeners all about the Canine Cube from Mountainsmith.
Oh, I really enjoyed the invitation. Thanks so much for speaking with me, Michelle.
I'd like to thank Luke of Mountainsmith for coming on the show and telling my guests all about the Canine Cube. I'd like to thank my testers, and this week it was Bodie and Petey and Mr. Z and Nikki. They all tried out the Canine Cube, no complaints. They range in size from about 3 pounds to about 50, and they all loved the Canine Cube. They loved testing it. They had no problems. They liked checking out the little tailgate flap. It was a lot of fun. So thanks to Mountainsmith. Listeners, you can find out more about Mountainsmith if you go to the episode page and look at this segment. There'll be a link to the website and a picture. And I would like to thank all of my listeners out there for listening. We're thrilled that you listen. And I'd like to thank my producer, Mark Winter, for making me and my guests sound great. And again, thanks to all my testers, Nikki, Mr. Z, Bodie, and Petey, for checking out the Canine Cube. Thanks for listening. Keep checking us out on Pet Life Radio for more shows.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.